Good morning, guys. This is the Recovery Channel podcast. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly, the addiction doctor, along with Jennifer Lovely. It's around 9:01, so I know you're joining us on Facebook and on YouTube Live. It's an amazing day today. Jen, how are you doing today?
You know, I'm okay. I've had better days. I can't wait to talk.
Whoa, hang on a second. What do you mean? What's going on? I know. Come on, audience. Let's back Jen. What's going on? Don't tell us everything, but just one of those days.
Well, yeah. Well, some of it I have to tell you off the air because it would be it's too much for on the air. But yeah, like I just had a weird experience yesterday, and then I had one of my clients was just like not in a good. Actually, our clients was not in a good place yesterday. So it's just like left over. I didn't feel like I've got to. You know, it's really important to get complete about your day. Like to be able to leave things,
yes,
so you can start fresh. That's actually one of my practices. And so I just didn't have an opportunity. It was one of those days where it was do all day long. And so I'm just kind of coming back to life, I feel like. So we'll talk off air. It's kind of personal stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Good. Other than that, I feel good. I'm probably a 7 on a 10. What about you?
Probably a 9 today, a little bit less than it should be, but I'm the same. The trip to Florida was absolutely phenomenal, and we was taken care of just by the guy that's on today, actually, Adam. But when you get back, I mean, you guys won't know because you're not as old as me, but when you get over 50, shit starts to happen. And I come back from every trip that I do, and I don't go on many these days, but the 2 days after that, I'm kind of drained, you know, when he starts to hit me. So I'll be great today, but yeah, it's life, you know, it's life, but we're still living the dream and dreaming of living, guys. That's what it's all about.
We are. And, you know, we had some amazing guests this week, including our current guest, and that were very touching, and it really moved my heart. And so I feel really, I hate to use the word blessed because it's kind of an overused word, but I feel like the fact that I get to have conversations with people that about their lives, about how they recovered, about what they overcame, you know, a redemption story. I mean, you've always got me at a redemption story, you know? So I feel really lucky to be a part of it. So that's where I'm at.
That's been amazing. I mean, the guests have been phenomenal. They're getting better and better, obviously, as we step into the new show, Recovery Channel podcast from Breaking Through Addiction. There's still a few people trying to find us on Breaking Through Addiction, I found yesterday. But Recovery Channel podcast on all platforms you could ever imagine, live on Facebook and YouTube right now. And just search Recovery Channel podcast and you'll find us there. So you guys listening at home and watching, I can see you all. I can see the numbers. I bet you would know. What are you wondering right now? I bet I can guess. Who's on the show today is what you're wondering. I know you are. Well, we have Adam Jablin on the show as an amazing story. He's an executive coach. He, amongst other things, he does a bunch of other things. He's one of my good friends. Not the reason why he's on the show, just because he has an amazing story. He's got a great book out, and he's a real, genuine guy that just does what he's supposed to do. So stick around, guys. As soon as we come back, Adam Jablin is on the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is Dr. Rob Kelly, the addiction doctor, along with Jennifer Lovely. Thank you guys for watching so early. I can see you there already interested in what we're going to do today. Our special guest today is Adam Jablin. Good morning, Adam. How are you doing today?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing well. Just watch the beginning of your show. I'm a 10 out of 10.
Nice. I like it. I love it. Absolutely. So people are asking who already don't know. I mean, if you're on my Facebook page, because you're on there now watching, you'll know who this guy is, because I spent the 3 days in Florida with him, and we shared joint patients. And just give us a rough background before we get into the good stuff, Adam, of who is Adam Jablin?
Yeah, so I'm a life coach. I'm a recovery mentor, corporate consultant, author, speaker, but you know, these are all just little titles to allow me into somebody's world. Really I try to be the most authentic man I can be, and always just show my heart, show my love, show my purity, and help people live in a higher reality.
So talk to me a little bit about 5 things that have impacted your life, Adam.
Well, the first thing I would have to say is my recovery. Without God and without my sobriety, I'm no good to anybody. So that's number one. The second thing would have to be my kids. My kids are my juice. They really, really are. The third thing I would have to say is fitness, believe it or not. Taking care of the body is extremely important to me. It's what gives me the energy to help others. I'm no good to anybody else if my energy is low. The fourth one would happen to be just my family itself. You know what I mean? Not my kids, but my other family members. And the fifth one, and I have no shame in saying this, would have to be my mentor, Dion. I wouldn't be the man I am today without him. So if you put those 5 things together, that would sum me up pretty good.
Excellent. I love that. Let's give a few shout out, guys. Every single week we have the same people listening. Just absolutely amazing how they follow us. Ellie Lawton in Kent. Good morning, Ellie. I know we talk every day via text and everything. God bless you. She's absolutely an amazing person. Dion, of course. Dion, it was great to meet you. Thank you for watching the show. And Verda Jablin. Hey, Mom. Good to see you. And last but not least, we got Stephen Selly. Did all the photography and was down there. What a great guy. Great young guy. He's just too good looking and too in shape for my liking. But yeah, you did a great job, Stephen. Good to be friends with you. Let's take you back, Adam, to one of the let's say a week before the worst day of your life. And just what was into that.
Yeah. So believe it or not, the worst day of my life was the best day of my life. It was my intervention. Okay. So it was blessed and cursed, right? Cursed for the ego, blessed for handling the disease. The week before that, guys, I would almost say I was possessed. The amount of pills and alcohol I was consuming made me an absolute monster. And I was a junkie, so it was Oxycontin, Percocets, Ambien to sleep, Xanax, Darvocet, the drinking, the tequila, the beer, the bodybuilding supplements, the ephedrine, the pre-workout, the post-workout, the toxicity in my blood was crazy. And I did not have one normal, sane thought. But I had to act like I did. And that's the real Adam Jablin story. It was the double life. I'm showing you this guy because I know how to be charismatic. I know how to be polite. I know how to be well-mannered. I know how to dress. But inside, I'm a crazy person. I was going insane. So that's what it looked like. It was a huge fight with my wife. It was a huge fight with my family. It was not being trusted around my own daughter. It was a mess. It was a mess.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. And congratulations on the first day of the rest of your life, because look where you are today. That's amazing. Yeah,
that intervention changed the whole life projection of Adam Jablin. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing to ever happen to me. And I never knew. Look, the last question I had leaving that intervention was, does this mean I can't drink anymore? Mm-hmm. That shows you, I was captive in denial. I was going because my family was in pain, but I didn't necessarily know I had a problem. And what I found out during the rehabilitation process, I didn't know that alcoholism and addiction was a disease. I thought it was a lack of willpower. As much as I read spiritual books, I had no real connection to God or higher power. I tried to keep myself in a class of people that looked good on the outside to realize that my brothers and sisters are really tortured souls to become part of the we and not like the elite, but part of, holding hands. This person on the left side of you just came out of prison. This person on the right side of you has a #1 hit on the charts, and you're all equals. It's what can I tell you guys? Recovery has been the greatest blessing of my life. And I was listening to you before, Jennifer. I do not think that's an overused word. Luck.
What, blessed?
Yeah, luck is.
Yeah.
I don't believe in luck, but blessed, I could sign up with that all day.
Yeah, I hear you. So talk to me about what was the invitation for you, Adam?
The invitation to come on the show?
No. So I have a belief that in our suffering, there's an invitation. Something else wants to bubble up. Something else wants to emerge. So what was the invitation?
The real me. The real me that never came out. You know, I had, look, don't feel sorry when I say this. I mean, I was very privileged in what I'm about to say, but I had very big shoes to fill. You know, my father kicked ass in business, and my grandfather was a captain. And I felt as if I had to live up to the expectations of them and other people's expectations. And they were two really big shadows that I just never thought I could ever be as successful as them, because they were so good. You know, my dad in business, I mean, you can mention still to this day a style number of lace to my father, like 43702. He'll tell you when it was created, who was the designer, what yarns were in it. I mean, he just was a savant. And my grandfather, I mean, if you think I have any charisma or personality, he was like the chosen when it came to people. So when I finally got this invitation, it was the invitation to finally be Adam, you know, not be Bob's son, not be Mort's grandson, but to be Adam Jablin. So here I am.
I know we talked about it a little bit when I was down there, but, you know, for a long time it was son of. Hey, meet Adam, the son of. And I know it took you a long time to kind of deal with that and get over it and become you yourself, which is freaking awesome. I mean, I know you was kind of aware of that, and I'm not saying you're sick of being known as the son of, because there were big shoes to fill. And for those who don't know, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, Adam, but Mr. Jablin, Mr. Bob Jablin, was probably number 2 in lace manufacturers across the world. So you can see the empire, number 1, I'm sorry, Adam.
Okay.
Number 1 lace manufacturer across the world. So you can see the shoes that you have to fill. So what was the day when you said to yourself, okay, awesome, I know that Dad does this, I know he's well known, I know he does well for himself, but I want to step away and be Adam Jablin. Do you remember that day when that happens and how you felt about that?
It was more of it was a process. It wasn't a one decision day. And what happened was I fell in love with recovery so much that it started bleeding through everything that I did. It was the way I was in the company. It was the way I worked in the company. It was the way I led the company. My recovery just started bleeding into every area of my life and had me shine in a different way. You know, so there was just no way that I could live up to that stature. There just was no way. What I could do was do things spiritually. You know, I knew every single employee's name. I knew every single employee's child's name and wife's name. I never made myself feel better than them. I made my company feel, the family company, like a we. So what happened was I usually say like this, where my grandfather was, let's say in sports analogies, I say he is Joe Montana, and then my dad came along and was Tom Brady. I actually just changed the whole sport, and I was Phil Jackson. You know, I knew how to do things in a spiritual sense, in a Zen type way, in the way we live our lives. And so what really happened was that day that you're talking about was the day I got sober. You know, it just changed every fiber of my being.
So you know, it's so interesting because I think that people that are not in recovery or that haven't gone through the recovery process don't fully understand what has to die in order to be rebirthed. So talk to me about what has to die.
So for me,
what did have to die?
So for me, so just so you guys know, I signed up to go to treatment for 10 days. I said, I'll go for a 10-day trial period. Okay. Because my idea was I'm going to be the most dedicated, disciplined, crazy soldier recovery guy. And what they're going to see within 2 or 3 days is there's nothing wrong with this kid. It's his family. You know what I mean? Look at it. He's early. He's everywhere. He's sharp. And along the way, everything started making sense. Have you ever seen the movie The Sixth Sense with Willis? And at the very end, he realizes he's dead, and the whole movie makes sense to him. That's how it was the first time I admitted I was an alcoholic and an addict. Wow. You know, I was like, oh, that's why I got a DUI. That's why I've written 20 letters to my wife that I'll stop. That's why I hide alcohol all over the house. That's why I have hidden compartments for pills. I didn't know what I was. I just thought if everyone could just stay the hell off my back and let me do what I want to do, everything would be fine. So along those 9 days, a part of me kept dying. I was enjoying the camaraderie. I had to write 2 letters to my daughter, one 20 years in the future if I stayed sober, 20 years after drinking and drugging. That broke my heart. I had to tell my story for the first time in front of these 30 alcoholic maniac addicts. And at the end, they're all hugging me saying, oh my God, I relate. I was the fat kid, or I was the skinny kid, or I went to a party school, and they're identifying with me. Mm-hmm. And on day 9, I felt a serious panic attack. Like something was really, really wrong. And I ran to the nurse's station. My blood pressure was like 180 something. They gave me a paper bag to breathe in, right? Which, by the way, works. I was upset. I wanted a Xanax or something behind the pill compartment. I was insulted that they gave me the paper bag. And they were like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I think this is real. That's what's wrong. I think this is real. I think this treatment center and everything you've been teaching me and the steps and spirituality, I think all of this is real. And they're like, so? I'm like, I think I have to stay. And they said, so what? What's the big deal? I said, I told everybody, and by the way, this is the thing. I told everybody that I was going to be out in 10 days. The ego, right? And I ran to the nurse's station. I ran to, the phone. I called my wife. And I said, listen, it's 5:30 in the morning, by the way. She thinks I got stabbed or something. She has no idea what's going on. And I'm like, she's like, is everything okay? I'm like, listen, I got some really bad news. And she's like, what is it? What is that? I said, are you sitting down? She goes, you woke me up. You woke the baby up. What's going on? And I'm like, I'm an alcoholic and an addict and I have to stay. And there was silence, just silence. Like it felt like for eternity to me. And then I heard, ha 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 ha. I was never going to come pick you up. I was never going to come pick you up. Don't you see it's Adam this and Adam that. And Adam can only do 10 days. And Adam needs tequila. And Adam needs to go to the gym. And Adam needs to go to the office. And Adam. And so for me, have you ever heard the term called the parallel process? I saw 2 of them, clear as day. And there was one that was on the phone that was like this. All right, listen, bitch, get the divorce papers ready. I don't care. Come pick me up. It's over. We're going to split custody. Just this arrogant, angry, alcoholic addict. I'm right. You're wrong guy. And then there was this other guy. I didn't know if he had to be poor. I didn't know if he had to quit the family business. I didn't know if he had to be baptized. I didn't know if he had to wear a yarmulke, but I knew he was sober. And I jumped into that Adam with both feet, and I never looked back.
I love it.
A part of me died, and a part of me was reborn.
Yeah, nice. I like it. Guys, Adam Jablin is on the show. Let's have a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back after this. Hey guys, welcome back. For those who were just listening and not watching, that was Live in Recovery Interventions. Recovery begins today. Recovery begins together. Give the gift of recovery. Our friend Travis knows what he's talking about. We're talking about a guy in a Xanax blackout that had a car crash at 120 miles an hour and still lived. If you have a loved one in trouble, call Travis on 801-573-4188 or visit the website livingrecoveryinterventions.com. And remember, guys, recovery begins today. Recovery begins together. 801-573-4188. Thank you, Travis, for supporting those.
Thank you, Travis. And I can't wait. I'm going to see Travis. We're having lunch together in Sedona.
Nice. Very nice.
I know. He's the best.
I love it.
Yeah.
He just always supports what we're doing and just an amazing guy. So, hey, guys, just joined us, Recovery Channel Podcast. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly, the Addiction Doctor. Along with Jennifer Lovely. Our special guest this week is Adam Jablin. Let me talk about the Hero Project for a second.
Sure.
I know it's absolutely huge, and I see it everywhere I go. Tell us what it's about and how it's affecting people's lives.
Sure. So the Hero Project is my, right now, let's say my 90-day coaching transformation. It's 90 days with me. It's one-on-one, Dr. Rob. You know, we've shared some stories, but if you were to ask me what my mission statement is, it'd be really easy, right? I would want to bring everybody that I am in contact with into the conversations that like I have with Dion, that I have with you. I want to bring everybody into a higher reality, but it's a process. So there's a lot of accountability. There's a lot of Zoom calls, and we really deal with the problem, which is the client. It's not the drinking. It's not the drugs. It's not the wife. It's not the boss. It's not COVID. It's not that the Zoom thing didn't work. It's them. We deal with them for the first time, and we build them up slowly. And look, ever since I was a little boy, I had an infatuation with Superman. It's just who I am. It's just a part of. I can't even really explain it. So I love the idea of Clark Kent transforming into Superman. I love the idea of Tony Stark transforming into Iron Man. I love the idea that when I get my client, they're this avatar. They're this mild-mannered reporter. But when we're done in 12 weeks, they're ready to fly.
I love it. So when I took on my journey and I left my two kids that were adults in the midst of their heroin addiction, and they were ding-dong ditching rehabs, as I like to say, because they went out in and out of them so much. I took off to the island. And when I got here, a lot of people asked me, are you here to heal or are you here to hide? And I remember thinking, well, a little bit of both. But really what I did is I took on the hero's journey. And if you have read Joseph Campbell's book, The Hero's Journey, you will know what I'm talking about. But there was a call to action. There was a call to an adventure. And the adventure for me was me. So talk to me about the hero's journey.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about it for myself or when I'm with a client?
No, for of course. This is about you, Adam. We get to talk about it.
Okay. So for me, the hero's journey, for me, it's a lot about surrender because it's a lot about, I think my life is supposed to go a certain way. Okay. And what I realize is what God has in store for me is way bigger and better. So the fact of even being able to work with Dr. Rob and with yourself is intoxicating for me. You know, the hero journey is me surrendering what I think Adam Jablin's life would look like and going the way it was. If I just let go, if I let go of these ideas, if I let go of these beliefs of it needs to look a certain way, I just take the action and let a higher power give me the outcome, that's what it really is for me. I could get into the fancy schmancy terminology that Joseph Campbell wrote about, you know, and look, he goes from everything to Jesus Christ to Star Wars to, you know, he's to Superman, right? But what it really is about, you know, Jesus did have the commandment of love God with all your heart, all your soul, and love thy brother as thyself. You know, and if you take those two commandments You can't go wrong.
No.
You can't go wrong. So for me, it's a really about letting go of what I think things have to look like. I got to be honest with you, Jennifer, and Dr. Rob, tell me if I'm going off course. I could not plan our trip to Florida. I couldn't orchestrate it. If I did, you would think you should be a party planner. You should be taking care of the biggest celebrities and let them go to here, to here, to here, to here. It happened so organically and so beautifully because I let go. I didn't have a preconceived notion of how things had to look. And things just kept coming to us. And we couldn't believe it. We just couldn't believe it. So that last 3 days that we had together is the greatest template of how I need to live my life. And every time I try to take control, don't worry, you'll see me screw up.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy. I know you said, hey, this such and such about it coming. And you know what it's like. If you invite 13 people, 9 might turn up, you know, and the other 4 have got a great excuse or whatever it may be. But like when they kept pouring, but it's at the timing as well. Like just as one conversation finished, somebody else walked in. Then 3 people walked in. Then 4 people walked in. It was just crazy. Absolutely. It was a great time. Talking of great times, what's the best time of your life? That you can put. I know there's loads, don't get me wrong. But anything that sticks out as being wow, that was just amazing.
Oh, that last trip is certainly a highlight. You know, I have these moments, Dr. Rob. You know, there are these moments where I could be with my kids and something magical happens, or we have a conversation, you know, or I reunite with my parents, or I'm sitting there with Dion and he plays a song and it comes back to me when I met him when I was 12 years old, or I'm with my best pal, Scott Jeffries, and him and I got clean and sober together, and I watch him paint this amazing thing, and I just marvel at it's like I get okay, remember when we were drinking, we would have panic attacks? I get gratitude attacks. I get these feelings of overwhelming, I can't believe it's this good. I can't believe it's this good, you know? And you know, being a guy raised by a cowboy, sometimes I feel overly sensitive. You know what I mean? It makes me feel feminine. But it's not one moment, it's magical moment. You know, I'm always going to remember this first trip that you and I had together. And I can't make one better than the other. You know, I can't do that. That's not fair. I mean, if that's the case, then I have to go by the record on saying anything with my kids, right? Because it's the right thing to say. It's the healthy thing to say. But how many of those have I had? You know, and I can't compare one age is better than the other, or one moment with my son is better than my daughter, or our magical moment is better than a moment with Dion, or a moment with my parents is better than Scotty, or Scotty's better than, you know, I just can't. These are just, you know, once I surrendered, it all became a tie. It all became a tie. I can't give you one, I guess is what I'm saying.
So what is surrender? You know, when we look at the hero's journey, you know, there is a surrender, and then there's also a call to coming home. There's this like, I'm going out on an adventure and I'm going to go through all of this stuff, spiritual, emotional, maybe even physical. And there's then at the end, like we go through all of this stuff and then it's like, okay, God says it's time to come home. So what was that for you?
So for me, you know, again, you got a really corny guy on your thing. So for me, this is the way I see that. Superman had to go to the Fortress of Solitude. That was his time alone to be at peace. He couldn't just constantly save the world. Just couldn't. So he had the Fortress of Solitude. And you can keep going, you know. Batman has the Batcave, and blah, blah, right? But I need to use what works for me. And I have these moments where I have to go in, you know, and I meditate, and I stay quiet, I stay alone. You know, when I got clean and sober, there was a part of my specific process where it says I go home for an hour by myself, and I review the things that I have the steps that I have taken to this point. that laid out a template for me of how I should live. So I take these moments to be by myself, my fortress of solitude. I believe my grandmother, God that passed away, is right here. I believe my grandfather is right there. I believe people that have died in recovery are all right here. I believe God's right there, and I just stay in the moment, in the pocket. I don't have to check my phone. I don't have to run around over here. I don't have to go to the gym. I just stay at peace. I get that Adam energy back, and I'm ready to rock.
Hey, Dr. Rob, do you mind if I just ask one last question? I can't help but want to say this, but you remind me of one of my favorite movies is You, Me, and Dupree. And he's like standing there talking about his nests, people's nests. Did you ever see that movie?
Unfortunately, no. And I'm a movie buff, so that's making me sad.
Anyways, so he's really talking about his nests. And so I'm hearing you talk about your Adam nests. So what is your nest? What makes what makes you Adam?
My heart does. I've had to work on that. I've had to put boundaries up with people that I love very much. And it was very painful. You know, I'm talking about people that share my own blood. Okay. But because all I want to do is please. You know, all I want to do is please. And to learn that is not good. And people pleasing is a sickness just as evil as alcoholism and addiction. I had to learn how to control this thing. I mean, do you want the truth? I want to save everybody.
Yes, of course. I don't want to help
everybody. You know what I mean? To say no to people, to say, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen, to say, I can't have you in my life anymore because all you are is a disturbance, to say, this is heavy lifting for me. This is not easy for me. Some people are wired like that. Sound, strong, don't give a damn. Not me. So for me to build those muscles were very, very hard. But I would still say my heart, it's my heart. I mean, I just won't quit. I don't know how to stop. It's right. The name of my book is Lotsaholic. You know, and I've been blessed with some gifts that help that, you know, a little bit of charisma, a little bit of personality, you know, not Tom Cruise or George Clooney, but not off on the eyes. But really, at the end of the day, you're getting my heart. You're getting my heart.
I like that. That's just direct and genuine. Guys, Adam Jablin is on the show. There's his website, abelinjablin.com. We will be right back after this. Hey guys, welcome back. For those once again listening and not watching, that was Life Over Addiction. Lance Wright is a transformational life coach. He's absolutely good guy. He says, let me help you navigate your life through path back to one of purpose and meaning. That's what it's about. The chains of shame and guilt no longer have to hold you back. Let's start a new conversation, he says. lifeoveraddiction.com, or you can email him info@lifeoveraddiction.com. Of course, you can always call him direct, 310-890-2337, Lance Wright. Okay, so when somebody comes to you, Adam, on many occasions, and they need help, because I know you deal with more than alcohol and drugs, as a whole, and I know in my industry, just alcohol and drugs, I know the answer to this question, but I wanted to ask you, most people that come to you that are lost, what do you think is missing in their life?
I really, really believe that there is a spiritual practice that they're not taking care of. You know, so to feel it from where I got well, when you take care of the spiritual component, the spirit that lives in the body, then the physical and the financial and then the emotional will come together. But if you try to do the physical first, but you're dying, trust me, I try to with everybody. think I was great with my body and this and that. So the physical ain't gonna do it, right? Mm-hmm. If you try to act emotionally sound like the Godfather, but your spirit's sick, not gonna do it. And I can't tell you how many people I know, especially in this town, that have money and they're the sickest. So it ain't those three things, you know? And if they have the balls to actually say there is something greater in this life, that I was born, I'm going to die, I go to sleep for 6 to 8 hours every night. So if I'm going somewhere every night, there's a beginning and there's an end. Let's stop looking at just the here and now, X, Y, Z, and what is really this whole thing of this game of life about. Then they're ready to be my client. Then I'm ready to talk to them. But if they want a diet and a workout plan, or they want to know how to invest their money, or they just want to do some sort of thing to control their anger, I'm not their guy. Go find some other guy. I'm not their guy. We have to work on the spiritual component first. That's why.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Adam.
I have a couple of clients that were Navy SEALs. Shouldn't that training figure all this out? Why would they need me? There's a spiritual component missing. Mm-hmm. You know, so that would be my answer, Dr. Rob. You got to start with the spiritual.
So when you walk somebody through the transformational process, do you have them go into the 5th step, the 4th step, the 8th step without it actually being that?
No, that's a great question. I'm very careful with that. I'm very, very careful with that.
Maybe you want to share the 4th, 5th, 8th step.
Those steps saved my life. Now, if a client like Dr. Rob and I have participated with, and you have participated with, it's about alcoholism and addiction. There's no greater tool. There's no greater tool. But I don't want to take that template and butcherize it, pick at it, use this, use that. You know what I mean? It's so if somebody comes to me and we're not talking about alcoholism and addiction, look, taking a look at yourself, taking a look at your behaviors, and thinking, right, that you can call that an inventory, but it's not a real. What name somebody, what happened, how it affected you? No, that's something to save somebody from a dependence, a real unhealthy dependence. Then admit it to me and a power greater than yourself. That is something, you know, that is a special thing that other people, honestly, it could seem a little too intrusive, you know, maybe along the way, but no, I can't tell you I do that. I apologize. That I don't pick it that far. Yeah.
No worries, no need to apologize. I was just curious. I mean, because it is a part of a transformational process, right? To
100%. 100%. I mean, look, if you want to get like real about it, like the steps were taken from Oxford. The steps are, you can even find the steps in the New Testament. You know what I mean? But I just have such reverence for them that I wouldn't want to go out of order and make it at the program. So it's a little bit of a different structure when somebody doesn't deal with the alcohol and drug part.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's talk about your book.
Yeah, dude.
So it's called Lots. I can't even say that. Say it for me, Adam.
Lotsaholic.
Lotsaholic. I love that.
From
Superman.
So what happened was I was in a family program in this treatment center. Okay. This is how I got this title. And the family members are looking at me like, why would I even have a problem? I'm eating clean. They're like, this guy, you know what I mean? This guy's, what's wrong with him? And one of the clients who now becomes a brother, right? He's like, oh, Adam's worse than all of us. And I looked at him, everyone looked at him like, how? He goes, well, Adam's a lotsaholic. Everything he does is extreme. You know what I mean? Everything. He talks about his kids too much. He's 5 minutes early for every meditation practice. because he has to be at every 12-step AA meeting. Adam is just too much. He's a lotsaholic. And it was a title that was given me, right? And it's true. You know, my addictions go way deeper than just pills. You know, I'm the kind of guy that if I take vitamin C for 7 days in a row, I won't leave the house on the 8th day unless I take vitamin C. And the book is my journey from working in the family business to the treatment facility, to what I learned that treatment facility, to coming into recovery, to re-meeting Dion, to how recovery looked in my life and relaunched me to be the man I am today.
I love it.
Thanks.
How did Lotsaholic and you beginning to get well, what was the impact? How did you own the impact with your family? Because, you know, from my perspective, it's like my invitation was I knew that if I was going to accept this invitation, that I would be a better mom to my boys. I would hopefully be a better friend. I would hopefully someday again be a better wife, you know, all of these things. So how did it affect your family, you getting sober and you getting better and you becoming less of an aholic?
In so many different ways, Jennifer. I mean, I had to go to therapy for a long time. You know, I started running like crazy in the beginning. And when I went into a 12-step recovery, I started speaking like I was from the 1940s. I remember saying to my wife one time, I have a resentment against you. It's a word used in 12 steps. I have a resentment. She said, "You mean you're angry? Do you mean you're pissed off? Like, speak like a normal person." I mean, everything was through this filter that I've been downloading. And I think it affected everybody because Adam is either A, not the sick one anymore, or either B, he's not the life of the party anymore. You know, that was a big part of the responsibility of being Mr. Wasted. You know, I got to make everybody feel like they're part of it. I had to grow up, and it affected everybody differently, depending on where they are in their life. But it was, I got to tell you, recovery is so deep. It challenged me on every aspect of life. My marriage, being a businessman, my own parents, my sister, being a daddy, being a friend, being a brother, just every aspect. But what finally happened was I became Adam. I finally became Adam. So, you know, as hard as it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But I think, you know, every relationship was changed differently. My kids for the best.
Yes.
My kids, nothing but positive.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I can't say that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can't. Recovery doesn't affect everybody. I just spoke to my daughter before she came in. It was her birthday last Saturday. And she texted me, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to go to the store or whatever, a shopping precinct. I'm going to buy some clothes. Is it okay for my birthday?" And just to say to her, like, you have the company credit card. There is no limitation. Just go out and do it. Like, it's just amazing. I get to do that stuff today. But unfortunately, guys, we're coming to the end of our time. And I just want to tell you that what a great guy. I mean, genuine and honest is the words I come up with. The trip was beyond my wildest dreams, and I know God had a lot to play with it. But you set the balls rolling, and you everything in place, and it was just a superb. And it kind of got me thinking about the person you are, the extra length that you'll go to because of your recovery today, and you walk with God is phenomenal. So, if I was going to ask you one more last question, I think what it would be was, do you think that what you have can transfer to anybody that comes to you?
100%. 100%. I think it's the thing that we have done to us. I think we can transfer it. Now, what they do with it from there, that's on them, right? But I do believe so. Example, and I'm not going to use any names. There was a dear friend of mine that came to the house that is sober, right? Clean, but doesn't want AA, never wanted AA, and never opened the book. You shared about your experience, strength, and hope, and now this guy can't stop reading the book. So it transfers. What the person does from there, I can't tell you. You know, but I do think that there is shining. And hopefully they can take that power and keep watering it and nurturing it and fly their own path.
I love that. I have to say that it was funny because we sat around the table and we'd had dinner and it's about 10 p.m. It's getting late. And this guy said, anybody want drinks with him? He said, I'll have an espresso. And me and Adam looked at each other. It was 10 o'clock at night. What are you doing taking espressos? And his answer was, I want to stay awake so I can read the book tonight. And when you have that sort of effect on you, it's freaking awesome. Jennifer's got one last question for you, Adam, and this question is always an amazing question.
Okay.
Amazing. Your dogs are going crazy back there, Dr. Rob.
Yes, they are. They're enjoying a play back here for the first time in ages.
Well, I would like to first acknowledge you for your recovery, what you've done with your life, that you have repaired your heart in a way that you're able to see different, feel differently, and experience life in a different way. And I just really want to acknowledge that. I mean, there's some really, it's beautiful to see transformation in process. And it's always beautiful to see, I didn't know you before, but it's beautiful to see the aftermath of transformation. It's one of my favorite things in the world to see. So thank you for doing that work, because I really believe that when we change our perspective, we change the world. When we change us, we change the world. And that really is the Hero Project. But I'm really curious, two questions. What would you say to people to support them in owning their impact? How would you support people in owning their impact? And then the last thing is, what do you want to leave people with in this world?
So I would want people to please start stepping into their own power and playing small for other people's approval. That's what I see in people a lot, you know, and I'm victim number one of it. So maybe that's why I see it so often. So please stop playing small and take that risk, because it's going to be worth it. The impact, look, maybe as I get older and I mature a little bit, I'll have a different answer. But at this point, I just want to make people proud of me that know me. I want people to be like, yeah, he's the real genuine thing. You know, I just want to make the people that I know proud. You know, that I was Adam Jablin. You know, I wasn't this version, I wasn't that version. I did what I said. I came from the heart, you know. That's it. If I can make every single person that I know proud to know me, I'd be happy with that.
Great answer. Absolutely great answer. I want to recognize you, Adam, for being the guy that you portray online. There's usually a big difference. You're a genuine article. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for the people you help. It's genuine. I want to thank you for being the huge influence on hundreds of thousands of lives, like all of us. The ripple effect is phenomenal. So thank you so much. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being on the show. And for now, Adam Jablin, guys, the website is adamjablin.com. And I apologize for my dogs. It's beautiful to watch him play for the first time in ages. One of them has been sick, so one of the reasons I haven't stopped it. Adam Jablin, guys, we'll be right back after this. Hey guys, welcome back to the back end of the show. My name's Dr. Rob Kelly, the addiction doctor, along with Jennifer Lovely. That was Adam Jablin. Pretty good. I like that. I love that. Jen?
Yes, it was really, really good. It was nice to see him in person. I've heard so many wonderful things about him from you. And so it was nice to have a face-to-face and hear his story. It's always nice to hear people's story. It's my favorite part of my job. So I would like to just do a shout out. I need some prayers. My boy has COVID-19, my youngest, which probably is going to mean my granddaughter has COVID-19. And so definitely send some prayers his way. It's kind of a bummer. I'll be headed down there, so I probably won't be able to see him for Christmas. So a little heartbreaking. Just, I'm sure he's going to be fine, but this thing is just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry to hear that. Our prayers will be with him.
Yeah,
because that's it's not good, you know. But hopefully he's fit and well, and he's sober and clean today.
yes.
So he stands a good chance at 89% of bouncing back if you're that age. So it's good. Guys, as usual, Monday and Friday is our day. We'll be back Monday with a special guest. Watch our Facebook page. You'll see who it is. Always special guests on here. And just have a fantastic week for a start. And remember, guys, when you compliment 3 people, your dopamine is released into the brain. 1, it's good. 2, it's better. 3 is the golden numbers. Compliment 3 people, guys. And remember, empowered people. We'll see you next week.
Supported people support people.
There you go.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.